check if anybody here in the room with us this afternoon? Halo semua. Another challenges journey. To first announce someone who fly and just arrived today from Singapore, right? Thank you so much. Hello, can I change the mic? Yeah. Oke, Miss Lula Mohanty. Beliau adalah of applause. Thank you. Together with us, Indonesia. Okay, together with us, we have Ibu Cincin, Technology Country Leader IBM Indonesia. Knows that we have a wonderful leader, one of inform everyone about yourself, your career and everything. Thank you.
Kakak-kakak, kakak-kakak ya, biar akrab ya.
Kakak,
Muda
boleh?
semua. Oke, saya, can I speak bahasa? You can understand. Saya bisa dan Pertamina dan terkait dengan pertanyaan pertama tadi tentang pengakuan secara global di Fortune juga, di Forbes juga, dan banyak sekali ajang-ajang yang sudah mendapatkan apresiasi. Dan Pertamina 2 kali perempuan yang memimpin, sebelumnya Ibu Karen sebagai direktur utama. Ini Pertamina mencapai performance terbaiknya di masa kepemimpinan beliau gitu ya. Nah, dan satu lagi kami juga dapat ini salah satu tokoh inspiratif juga di Pertamina yang sangat-sangat mendukung perkembangan Liwi ini adalah komunitas perempuan yang saling menguatkan antara pekerja perempuan. Biasanya perempuan banyak gamangnya ya, banyak keraguan-raguannya, banyak kehati-hatiannya, jadi perlu sangat mendorong. Dan untuk energi industri seperti Pertamina,
it's great being here. So happy international that support, because that's also very important. So I think, and kita campur-campur kali ya bicaranya. Di BNI sendiri, 52% of our workforce adalah perempuan. Dari sisi itu sudah posisinya di 20, mulai dari wakil direktur utama kami Ibu Adi, dan kita lihat juga yang lebih menarik lagi is not only about the senior leaders ya, tetapi bagaimana senior leaders itu justru membantu mengecilkan atau merendahkan wanita, seperti dibutuhkannya ada nursery room, dibutuhkannya ada menstrual leave. Ya, itu kata-kata yang jujur kadang masih suka malu nyebutnya, tabu menyebutnya, padahal itu adalah hal yang umum yang diperlukan untuk and to contribute optimally in their workplace. Jadi hal-hal seperti itu juga merupakan fokus kami di BNI, bagaimana and creating a working environment to have all of these future female leaders in BNI.
Yeah, that's a question. So, to be women, just speak for us to become able to do our work, right? Okay. I think let's go to Lula, right? Lula, we are talking about, oh yes, please. And Lula, we've been talking about Indonesia, but how is it in Asia Pacific? I mean, you as a women leader. I was joining your meeting and I was amazed that although men are reporting to one lady, which is you, so it's so good to have you here, and please share your thoughts.
No, it's my pleasure to be here. So happy International Women's Day to everybody. I don't understand Bahasa. I love the sound of Bahasa. So, but yeah, I mean, I have spent 25 years, which is a large part of my working career in IBM. And in the 25 years, I think I have done 7 countries, 12 roles, you know, innumerable kinds of experience. Topic. Today, I think I'm in the executive representation, 29.7 to be precise. But so just a little bit about our history. I think we're known to be diverse, although I would say that there is so much more we have to do. But it goes back, already had women in sufficiently senior roles, right? All our launches, when you put, you know, this, but you know, Sir Thomas Watson Sr. in the year 1935 made this famous declaration that women will have equal opportunity in the workplace, but they will also have equal pay for the same kind of work. Now remember, this is much before the US had the Equal Pay Act, okay? So it's just in the history. And then in 1970s, we actually launched the pay parity survey, which is, it started in the US. By 2020, 89 countries were reviewed where women had to get the same pay, dollar to dollar, for similar kind. This is all parity across all are and so on and so forth. So, and then now, and I think it may be true in a lot of your companies, I couldn't understand that, is that for executives and for everybody who is leading a team, chairman reviews this. It's as important a metric as everything else we do in the business. So I think all of this is fueling diversity. But we'll come to that later. I think the pipeline to grow senior women leaders, business value, talk about inclusion and what we should do, to your point, right? To bring women up.
Okay, thank you, Lula, for the information. Can we give applause to women, top leader of the technology, leading technology solution? So, Bu, some words from you. Yeah.
Selamat sore, mungkin salam sejahtera ya, Happy International Women's Day dari 20-an tahun. Jadi keep changing ya. Jadi perubahan itu cepat sekali. It's also come from our own mindset. Memberikan mereka hand holding, so mereka lebih percaya diri, sehingga mereka lebih berani mengemukakan pendapat, terutama di dalam suatu organisasi besar, di mana pada saat mungkin in a certain group of large meeting, mungkin
saya sering ditanyain itu ya, both internally and externally gitu, karena mungkin banyak yang ketemu gitu ya, diversity inclusion lead atau apa namanya, in some companies it falls under sustainability, itu biasanya perempuan gitu ya. Terus kenapa nih kalau Microsoft gitu, bahkan ada salah satu empowerment will not be as successful if we do not have strong male ally, and that's what I am gitu ya. Jadi di Microsoft sendiri, I think I mean, I don't just represent the women at Microsoft community, but we have a diverse disability at Microsoft gitu. Going back to the very simple concept of allyship basically. So that's what we advocate in Microsoft. Bagaimana caranya supaya setiap orang itu bisa datang ke kantor as their true best potential. Gitu ya. Jadi ke kantor nggak diomongin, nggak, aduh ibu ini selalu, if we just show up at work as our true potential. So with that, goes back to allyship, to empathy, basically. Unfortunate meeting where most of them are also female. I don't think that's the ideal situation as well, right? It doesn't matter, right? And then you can show up. So I hope this, next year and whatnot, we are not that surprised if we have a lot of female CEOs. Oh, you're a great female CEO. You're just a great CEO. People don't have to say, oh, you're a great female. No, you're just a great CEO. It so happens that you're a female. All right, and I think we can have other discussion after this.
And then let's talk about how actually we also can address this. I mean, especially for the
unconscious bias. And unconscious bias, I think to be fair, I'm not sure how many here are parents, but I, as a parent, I actually learn a lot from my son, because the generation now, and I'm actually really excited about the young generation, because now gender equality amongst the younger generation is actually higher than perhaps in our generation and definitely our parents' generation. So nowadays when I talk to my son and when I see him and his female friends, not necessarily girlfriend, but just a group of friends, that is between male and female. Unfortunately, it is still important to be able to say there are X% of female leaders. You know, as I sit around this panel, I realize that as we get busy,
Touring is one good thing. Maybe you can also share some thoughts.
We have covered some distance in getting the numbers right, which is diversity. It is very visible. Different companies have made progress. Those care, right? Menopause is a big conversation. Forget empathy. Now, if you are shouting at your team members, they say, "Oh, she is menopausal." Yeah. So all I'm saying is, first and foremost, all policies need to be reviewed to reflect diversity and real needs. Okay, that's first. Second, I think what is often not spoken about is microaggressions, which is in a table, if you say something, either you are ignored, you know, somebody polite, was I rude? So I think making sure you are addressing this, and for that you need women leaders. So cross-sectionalism, and it applies to us in Asia. The need for a female in a traditionally male coming out of Asia.
With the every area that we have to work is psychologist aspect. So it's very good community. We can share everything, and we can get the support from psychologists. And from that moment, we can.
I will start with like the AI system is really rapidly growing, and then the market, right, is based on Gartner is like 134.8 billion by 2025. So it's a really big market, but also what we really want is really a women included in the journey of minimalizing the unconscious bias and everything, right? I would like to ask Bu Cincin, what is IBM stand on this?
Preference-nya ke male. Nah, itu salah satu yang sebenarnya in the context or one organizations we have to be start with the purpose dulu, karena IBM sendiri mempunyai 5 core value pada saat IBM mendesain IBM AI, dan yang paling pertama di purpose-nya dulu, apakah ini untuk digunakan dalam konteks mengkonsolidasi unstructured data, kemudian dipakai dalam decision making process. Yang kedua adalah transparansi. Diversity in the group of developers yang melakukan algoritma. Diversity itu menginclude ya beberapa opini from the persons yang melakukan algoritma tadi. Kemudian skill juga sangat mempunyai dominan yang cukup penting created, karena every people says AI need IA, katanya information architecture. Bagaimana information itu di feeding ke dalam AI, karena it's all about human yang mentrain si AI itu, bagaimana AI itu bekerja. So it's very critical for us untuk juga tahu ya bagaimana kita bisa memberikan kontribusi ke dalam AI tersebut. Contohnya mungkin di IBM Watson yang tadi saya katakan untuk yang AI ini. Sudah lebih dari 40.000 client engagement di IBM, dan across many industry, mungkin sudah lebih dari 20 industri yang menggunakan solution tersebut. Bagaimana mereka melihat business complexity, kemudian it came from the many industry yang bisa membantu decision making proses mulai dari unstructured data, kemudian many different element di dalam organisasi tersebut, sehingga tidak mengeliminate human di dalam organisasi tapi menjadi complement to human ya. Itu sih.
Okay, thank you. Panjang sekali ya. I hope everyone is understand, but I think it's like really very important, right, to ensuring that women itu di-engage di all levels ketika kita start this AI process, right? I think we kind of run out of the time, but yeah, I know we've been really inspiring to hear everyone, but maybe some closing words from everyone of here, like some 1 or 2 statement about women and AI, and really about how we want to see more women leaders, how we want to see more pipeline of women leaders in the market. Let's start from the men.
Sure. I think from what Po Chin said, right? I think about how this whole AI even works, right? So don't forget that we've got developers, coders who need to teach the machine, how they should behave. I don't know if any of you caught that movie, Megan, but it creeps me out, right? Creeps me out, but that might be the future, right? So I always go back to this fact where, a few years ago, I think, not so long ago, the rate of mortality in Mercedes was much higher for the passengers than it was for the driver. And it was because 90% of the engineers who create the safety aspects of the car are men, and they're not used to sitting at the back. They always assume that if they're the man, they're the father of the family, they will be the driver. And so they know how they would behave in the car and how they would react to an accident, but they never think about the other family members. Right? So I'll leave you with that, right? If you want to go into a future where representation of people who would think about you, is that a world that you want to live in? And with that, happy International Women's Day.
Boleh tepuk tangan gak sih? Alright.
So I think just hearing, and it's so great to hear from just various aspects. Perhaps a few points that I would like to highlight dan mengingatkan, termasuk kepada diri saya sendiri, adalah satu, memang tantangan dan tanggung jawab kita untuk tetap meningkatkan jumlah pemimpin wanita di industri profesional dan lapangan pekerjaan di Indonesia itu masih banyak dan masih besar. Bukan untuk mengecilkan selama ini yang sudah berhasil, tapi untuk mengingatkan bahwa masih belum selesai, masih banyak PR yang harus kita lakukan, tapi dengan kemajuan yang sudah kita alami selama ini. Berikutnya adalah karena tantangan itu masih besar, PR-nya nggak hanya untuk para wanita, nggak hanya untuk para perempuan. Memang kita dikasih tanggung jawab lebih, apalagi kalau sudah menjadi leader. Kita dikasih tanggung jawab extra effort, ya, yang mungkin kalau male mentors itu effortnya itu berapa persen, kita mungkin harus 2 kali lipat. Karena kesempatan yang didapatkan untuk mendapatkan mentorship dari seorang leaders perempuan masih terbatas. Jadi memang itu harus kita akuin, tetapi juga tadi allyship from men, and not only in the workplace, tapi juga di dalam lingkungan keluarga. Di dalam lingkungan keluarga kita juga harus mendukung jadi ini dari wanitanya mendukung para lelaki juga untuk tidak lagi tabu, tidak lagi malu untuk bagi-bagi tugas, ngurusin anak, ngurusin sekolah, ngurusin pekerjaan rumah, ya. Jadi jangan dibikin seakan-akan itu bukan sesuatu yang sesuai untuk laki-laki. Itu PR di perempuan juga loh ya. Jangan kita ngelihat laki-laki kurang macho gitu ya kalau melakukan pekerjaan seperti itu. So when we talk about equality, di situ juga. Dan yang terakhir, lastly, this is perhaps not only about AI, but you mentioned about AI, tapi technology in general. And your comment about that Mercedes totally freaked me out ya. Tapi itu justru kenapa ini poin yang terakhir. Saya pun melihat di dalam pekerjaan saya saat ini dan sebelumnya, when it comes to digital development or when it comes to digital, yang bagian sales, yang bagian relationship manager, account manager, banyak perempuan. Dianggap lebih supel, dianggap lebih manis, lebih gampang. When it comes to coders, when it comes to actual developers, when it comes to tech leads, not too many. You know, saya jadi berpikir sekarang di tim saya sendiri pun juga itu sangat terbatas. So that's an unconscious bias about what roles in digital even perempuan itu dianggap sesuai apa tidak. Jadi itu masih PR di kita when it comes to digital. And I will always use, so saya numpang curi ya itu, and continue to repeat that example loh, karena itu luar biasa banget. If we don't focus on it and get more females to be active in the actual technology development, it's a scary future. Terima kasih.
Oke, silakan Bu. Iya, boleh.
Oke, ini saya mengutip kalimatnya Bu Nike ya. Kalau mau jadi perempuan jangan boro-boro minta diistimewakan, tapi kamu juga harus bisa menjadi yang istimewa. Bagaimana menjadi yang istimewa? Itu adalah meningkatkan capability, terus meningkatkan kompetensi, melakukan continuous improvement, continuous learning, dan of course catch the technology. So women should be special if we treat ourselves special.
Yeah, wow, very good. Nice. Amazing, right? We can talk about this all days. Anyway, please.
Just three things in the interest of being precise. Number one, to the tune of AI, it's going to touch all our lives because 60% of AI is already being done to you, whether you like it or not. Your credit assessments, your criminal history, whether you qualify for a loan or not, right? I mean, the customer segmentation. So it's going to be real. So therefore, it is in our interest if we have women actually driving some of that which is targeting you. Second, we talked about AI, where we need more gender diversity is in the data sets. I mean, there was the Mercedes examples. There are many examples where just because you don't have women in that data sets, right, it's not even the algorithm. The algorithm is trained on data. And if the data is age-old data, I mean, there's so many examples. You give image recognition, chances are that, you know, the AI recognized the word CEO to be with men, because all the data sets were historically men. So I think it's in the data set, it's also then in the algorithm, right? I mean, who is writing that algorithm, which is important. So the second is therefore we need. Third, we have to encourage people to understand why therefore these careers are important, right? The STEM careers are important. The reason being, at least we are going to see 40% occupational shifts. Whether you move to do a real AI work or you enhance your work using AI. Right? Today one of the world's top supermodel is actually not a human, is an AI persona. Everybody clapped because, you know, it was Prada, it was Givenchy, everything on her. But she was an AI persona who was walking the ramp, right? The best music that won the Grammy last year in the BBC, the Philharmonic concert, was AI generated musical notes. So what I tell my son, you're not doing computer science or data because you will be just coding, but whatever is your passion, you can be a better artist, you can be a better doctor, you can be a better dancer, you can be a better performing arts person with the help of AI. So therefore this education is so critical, yeah, not just to use, I mean, but to also apply in whatever works for you best. Therefore STEM is going to be interesting.
Yay. For STEM, of course. Okay, Pak Krista, Bu Cincin for last statement.
From me, I think always back to the purpose, whether we as the leaders, whether we want to create more diverse environments, but more importantly is that providing an equal employment opportunity to every one of us, and also be the change agent that's not only helping ourselves, but help the community. That's more important. Thank you.
All right. Oke, semuanya terima kasih. I just want to say Happy International Women's Day. Amazing panelists, amazing crowd here. Boleh tepuk tangan buat kita semua. Right. And maybe see you in next year International Women's Day. Oke. Terima kasih. Oke.